It's interesting with health too, right? With emotional health and physical health, that from what you said, the first thing you said today was, there are certain things from the moment you're born that's it. It's already going in the wrong direction. And we often think of like, how do I end this? Or how do I start this? How do I finish this? And it's like, well, most things are just in motion. They're not beginning or ending. They're just already happening. And as you said earlier, we're trying to slow it down, or we're trying to be aware of it, or we're trying to monitor it. When you were speaking about your family there and you were talking about that emotional well-being, there was something that came to mind. There were these two beautiful words you used, which one of them is used a lot, but one of them not so much. But you talked about joy and spontaneity. And I love the word spontaneity. I think it's not used enough when we talk about emotional health. Joy is used. But the challenge I find today when I'm talking to people is that we're so overexposed to whether chemically we're talking about dopamine, or whether we're just talking about like joy, like fun, pleasure, instant gratification, which we've talked about for such a long time, that everything feels boring almost. It's hard for people to get to a state of joy or spontaneity. I find that a lot of people have a sense of like, well, what's there to look forward to? Or like, oh, well, nothing's that great. It's okay. Like, whereas before, and now it's like, it feels like you've got to up the results so hard. And the problem is, even when you up it, like you're thinking that happiness is in Europe on that yacht, right? And it's like, even if you got there, it won't actually even live up to that experience that you put in your mind.
Right.
Because it was never about the physical manifestation of it. It was the idea that you've overexposed yourself to so much pleasure that now even the highest pleasures don't satisfy or suffice. How do we work on that? Like, what is the health and emotional version of approaching that problem?
I wish I knew. I mean, and I think you're addressing one of the most important questions. And this is something I really struggle with because, for me, I was just talking about this with someone earlier today. I think about the next decade of my life, this amazing time where I get to be with my kids the most. Because, as you're probably aware, the data are pretty clear that once your kids leave for college, the amount of time you will get to spend with them is quite small. I think it works out to basically, you have a total of 19 years with your kids, 18 of which occur until they leave for college. And then 1 year is the sum total of time you will spend with your kids the rest of your life on average. So I look at that and I think I regret the time I've wasted so far, right? But so that's the stuff I talk about. And now I'm here in the future. I think, wow, the greatest source of joy I really experience is with my family. That to me is what spontaneity is, right? Spontaneity for me is the reason I brought it up is I'm a very rigid person by nature. Like part of control for me is rigidity. Deviating from my plan is a very hard thing to do, but I also realize it's a very important thing to do. So like I'm the kind of guy who makes lists on weekends.
Me too.
Right? Like there's there's a list of 12 things that have to be done on Saturday and 8 things that have to be done on Sunday. And you can imagine that rigidity takes any spontaneity out of life. And one of the great things I've learned is how to screw the list sometimes. The other day when I went to had to go to Home Depot to get all the chicken wire to do the thing like that, wasn't on the list that day.